Oh, hello there. Only one can over here, only one. Thought I'd do another video. I want to talk to you about Luke Bespin Fatigues. Oh, yes, I'm going to show you two things here. One specific cardback that I want them to put into the vintage collection, in the future of the vintage collection, is not this one here. Oh, excuse me. We've had two in the past before, which are the first variant of the Luke Bespin Fatigues, and one of them was the VOTC. And the next one was in the vintage collection very early on, VC04, and there they were the same cardback, or the same type of Bespin Fatigue cardback. My favourite cardback, as I know that you will know if you are a follower of my channel, is the one when, I don't know, blacked out Ewoks will tell you how you describe it, but I'd call it the peeping, or the looking one. Anyway, that one there, that's the one. I think it's an awesome cardback, I like that one. The image on this one here is really fuzzy, and it doesn't really do any justice to cardback, really. It's almost like it has been in bad Photoshop, back before Photoshop or digital editing was any good back in the 80s. They kind of did that, and I don't know, it's a pretty grainy, fuzzy image. This cardback here, or this image of Luke, is kind of would match up with these Bespin Fatigues, well, Bespin Fatigues, these Bespin shots. That you get like a more of a they're scaled similar, you know, the size of the body on the photograph, whereas this one's more of a long shot of Luke. But anyway, I've said it many times on my channel, what I'm really hoping Hasbro will give us is another Bespin Fatigues Luke, just to give us the variant card back, because I just love that image of Luke. Now this one is a custom one that's been not that great. I'll be honest with you, there's no shine on the card. It's not as good as it would be, as I've said thousands of times before, if Hasbro printed it off themselves. But this video isn't just about showing you this one, and I'm going to show you some close-up ones of this. It's a recarded vintage 80s, actual 80s figure there that I've got on that one. I want to show you a really good custom vintage collection version of it by Tatooine Customs, which he very kindly sent me this months ago now. And his customs are ace, really, really good quality. Not only does he do a good print off of the card, but he does his bubbles in a style that matches the actual vintage collection. The size and shape of the bubble and the way he puts the accessories. Now, no disrespect to him, but the actual figure that because he was very kind, he gave me this for free, which is lovely. Thank you very much if you're watching, Lee. But the actual figure inside is not necessarily the best figure of Luke that has ever been released. One thing that is good about the VC04 was that is probably the best Bespin Luke we've ever had, and fully articulated and such. But anyway, mustn't grumble, this came to me for free. I didn't pay anything for this, but the actual Luke in there is one of those modern, it's not that bad actually, but it's one of those 5 points of articulation Lukes. But anyway, can you see the quality of the card back there and the bubble? I'm going to give you another close-up shot of it. But anyway, so he's done that in a way, it's almost like to rattle Hasbro's cage and say, Hasbro, pay attention, that's how it could look if you put it in the vintage collection. And just imagine, he's called it VC124. I don't even know what we're up to now. That wave, it was like 116 onwards, that first wave. And speaking of waves of the vintage collection, does anyone know when the next wave is coming out? There's been a bit of a gap there. People like Yakface keep me informed. He's the man with the gossip. Check out Yakface if you're not familiar with him. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. He is really good with his information, and I don't really chat to him much, Jason, but he does reply to messages and stuff. But he did say once that he has his sources. How good's that? He must know somebody on the inside. So I'm going to cut there, and I'm going to show you a closer look at the bubbles of each of those cards. See you in a moment. Okay, welcome back, and we are not necessarily the best location to do this, but I just thought I'd give you a quick close-up shot of the card and the bubble to show you again the quality of Tatooine Customs custom cardbacks. And as ever, I've always mentioned these, he always puts in the little safety pamphlet there, which is great. And he has a really good way of doing gone blurred there, there you go, a bubble that matches the shape and size of regular VC cardback bubbles. And as you can see, there's an interior bubble as well, where the figure sits in, and he's even gone to the trouble of putting sockets for the weapon to sit in, which is a really nice touch. It's very nice indeed. The cardback quality is also excellent. There is a shine to it. If I can just tilt, you can see the shine, the gloss even. And I like as well, as you've seen in other videos, if you're new to the channel you won't have seen, but anyway, I'll just say again, that the attention to detail of the bubble as well, not the bubble, I beg your pardon, the punch is really good as well. That's nice, that. So it looks like it's come from Hasbro almost. Pretty darn close anyway. There's not many customs I've seen that are as good as his. But there you go, it's a beautiful card back. And again, it's just sort of something I really want Hasbro to do. Oh, I'll put it on their list, you know. There's tons of cards and figures I want them to bring out, but I just love that card of Luke on Bespin. I just think that just is the definitive or the best card they ever did for him. Let's have a look on the back. Obviously ignore the VC number, he's just tried to do that to kind of give it some future authenticity. But there you go, it's a nice looking back. He's done some interesting things on the back there as well. You've got the Snow Trooper there. There's a Lobot there, that's a really good idea. Good car, man. And the AT-AT driver, this guy's singing for my hymn sheet, most definitely. Sorry about the focus, come on, god damn it, work, will ya? Anyway, there you go, it's back. And there you go, really good quality stuff there. Very nice indeed. So thank you again, Lee, for sending me, that's the name of the guy who runs the company, Tatooine Customs, for sending me this card back. And I beg your pardon, I didn't mean to criticise the Luke figure there, but I think you know what I mean. He's just obviously not a fully articulated one, but he ain't bad. Alright there. Oh, well, I was going to stop there, but no, I'm going to show you the other card now. One moment. And back again. This is another card back I've got, which is actually currently on auction on eBay. I'm going to get rid of this. There's a few cards now. There's a little bit of a hobby back in 2016. Up until this one I did recently, fairly recently. I decided to buy some vintage Star Wars figures and recard them. I got the card backs from Restore Nation in Spain, and I've had a bit of fun doing it, but to be honest with you, I just want to see them off now, because I'd sooner focus on 100% Hasbro products, really, you know. These are great, and they do look good in star cases, and they're fantastic, but and the figure quality, the quality of this figure, I got this loose, was really good as well. I put in there, cheated a bit and put a blue lightsaber in there. He's not supposed to have a blue lightsaber. It's supposed to be yellow, because they never quite got the colours right, did they, back in the day. It's got a Palatoy logo on it as opposed to Kenner. If you want to find out about the yellow lightsaber controversy or the mix-ups, then there is a video on YouTube about that. It explains all about that and why. Again, like I said, there is a slight gloss on it, a slight sheen, but not that much on that one. And let's just sort of look on the back there. And he's obviously gone for the classic backs. I mean, look at that, the all 45 card back there. So he's going for vintage authenticity, whereas Tatooine Customs are going for kind of like a future mock-up of a, not a future mock-up, but like going for the modern representation of or design of the vintage collection. So there you go, this is going for authenticity in terms of the 80s, you know what I mean. So there you go, thank you very much for watching these, and I shall cut there. Boom. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I have been Only One Kenobi. Let me just sort the lighting out in here. That's better. So yeah, thank you very much for looking at that. There they are there. And I suppose the final word I want to say in this video is I'd love to see that peeping Luke, I like to call him peeping. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? But you know, it's that bit, you know, there's a, you know the bit I mean, Empire Strikes Back, he just sort of like, he's nervously going through the corridors of Bespin, and it's Luke, isn't it? I just think it's a much better image of Luke than the other one. So it'd be great to see that printed off by Hasbro and put into the modern vintage collection. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only One. Out.